you. Tarot card helps you answer questions, right?
It does.
You have a question, you ask the deck, and then you kind of interpret what happens.
Right.
Similar fashion, segue alert. We run 2 visitor centers where we get lots of questions for people coming to Sonoma.
Okay.
And they want to ask us questions.
All right. Of course they do.
And you're going to help me in this segment that we call We Get Questions.
Okay. It's cleverly named.
Good question. I mean, you haven't seen these yet, have you?
I don't think so. No.
No.
Do I need to put my glasses on?
It's up to you. I'll read them to you.
Okay.
But I will read them, and then you can help me respond. So basically, you're going to act like you are one of our visitor center volunteers or staff.
Oh, so I'm asking you the question.
No, I'm going to ask you the question.
Oh, I'm the staff.
You're the staff.
Okay. What is my motivation, Tim? Yes, and.
And scene.
Yes, and. Yes, and.
So basically, imagine if you will, there's a town called Prosperity. Mm-hmm. Imagine Flint Burns has a volunteer.
Yes.
And the volunteer works at the cart in front of the visitor center.
That's right. Okay.
And people come up and ask questions.
Oh, I should go work there and read people's cards.
You totally should. You can totally do that. We're always looking for special guest stars at the visitor center.
I'm in.
So
I'll come down next week.
Here's a question we got. Here we go.
Right, yes.
We're visiting from Miami.
Yes. Welcome.
Oh, it's good. And I was here a long time ago on a bus tour. And I remember there was something about a way to identify all the trees in the plaza.
Yeah.
Am I remembering this correctly?
You absolutely are. Welcome from Miami. We're so happy to see you here.
Good job.
Welcome to Sonoma County.
You're good at this.
I love people.
Okay. I'm a real people person.
There absolutely is a way to identify all the trees in the plaza. And let me get that for you, because this is a really fun way to get now you're freaking out. This is a really great way to get to know Sonoma, because not only will you see these trees on the plaza, you'll see them at wineries, you'll see them around, and you'll feel more grounded in your experience knowing what trees are here. So yeah, let me get that for you.
And you're referring to our plaza tree map, I think. I
am referring to the plaza tree map.
That's amazing.
It's a really cool thing.
It is.
I think Tim Zahner thought of it.
I did. I wish I did. It was like one of those cool things. Like, I wish I did think of that. But it's amazing. It's got all the trees that are in the plaza.
It's actually really great.
My favorite thing to do when you're at the cart and someone comes up.
Yeah.
We came here to see a redwood. And I point to the redwoods 10 feet away.
That's right.
You can go home now.
Bob's your uncle. Have fun.
Exactly.
Thank you for stopping by.
They got London plane trees. They've got eucalyptus / gum trees. They've got cypresses. They've got cedars. We've got plum trees. So any kind of tree, the plaza 8 acres has a lot of them. And it is kind of fun to go.
It's 8 acres.
8 acres.
Wow, that's actually a lot bigger than I thought.
How big is it in Prosperity? Like 7.5.
I don't know.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
The other day, he's like, "What's this character's last name?" I'm like,
I don't know. Snigglebottom?
She's in 3 books. I'm like, I forgot to give her a last name. Yeah, so the trees are good. And then also in those trees, as you know, are birds, which I love.
Oh, you like birds?
I do like birds.
Oh.
So that would be the next.
But how would I identify a bird? Like if it's like a craven raven?
Things that fly. I don't know. We might have to do a bird thing for the plaza as well, which I think people would find. So I've been to a hotel actually over in Bodega Bay that does they give you like the bird sheet.
It's all snowy plover. It's just plovers. Plovers.
Plovers aplenty.
Plovers. And
we're just lousy with plovers on the coast. But yeah, so you check it off and you go through and then you get like something free at wine hour or whatever.
It's
so
like that bingo thing.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's all in the honor system, obviously, but I would never lie about it.
No, yeah, totally. Of course I saw the Arctic tern.
Of course I did.
Why not?
Why wouldn't I?
He was eating a bald eagle.
Right
there.
Because that happens.
All the time. Do you ever use Merlin, that app?
Yes.
And identifies birds by their sound. Yeah. So I know you're a bird person. I know you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim. Well, bird person, here's another question for you.
Okay.
What time of the year is not a busy or crowded month to visit?
Okay, so I'm gonna really have to take a swing on this one because I'm not totally sure. I would have to say January is probably a quieter time in Sonoma, but it's probably a lovely time to visit because what happens in Sonoma in January is pruning. We're getting some rain. There's going to be a lot of cozy afternoons in front of a fire for you and your guest. And I highly recommend coming in January and also during our busier times, which are more festive and more people around. But I think January is probably, I feel like I'm in a job interview.
You did a great job on that.
Okay. January.
You're in a job interview and we're not paying you. So good job. You're right. Actually, that's a great answer. So Q1 of the calendar, January, February, March, are the lowest visitation months. And it's a great time to come visit. You are right. It's the green period.
Yeah, it's green, right.
We get a little bit more moisture in the air. Sometimes that represents its rain. And pruning is going on. It's quieter. It's a good time to sit by the fire, with a glass of wine, and read a cozy mystery.
I mean, if you're not coming in January,
Right.
picking up your copy of Dead Spread and your tree map
Right.
at the visitor center, then you're really missing a key component to an enjoyable trip.
Right. The perfect experience.
It's a perfect Sonoma experience.
It's Dead Spread, Cabernet, Fire, tree map. It's right there.
And a tour with George Weber.
And a tour with George Weber.
Yeah.
This one's seasonal.
Okay, Gravenstein apples.
What is a Gravenstein apple, and why should I care?
All right, I think I might have an answer to this.
Okay.
I think I can pull something.
You got
out.
this one? Okay.
A Gravenstein apple. Sonoma County is known for its Gravenstein apples. It's a very specific varietal of apple that actually flourishes here in Sonoma County. It probably has something to do with Luther Burbank.
Okay.
And so you should care because we're one of the only places, this is one of the only places in the world where you can get one, if not the only place. You can get pies and ciders made from Gravenstein apples.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay.
So you're right. So we and coming up is the Gravenstein Apple Fair in West Sonoma County.
Oh, that's right.
The Gravenstein Apple it's on the Arc of Taste by the Slow Food.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So
Okay.
the people
Sure.
who are like really big into like heritage brands. You know,
Yeah.
the common apples we have now are Granny Smith, Red Delicious.
Yeah. Pink Lady.
Pink Lady. But a lot of like the Red Delicious and Granny Smith don't have a lot of good taste because they were made for shipping and storage.
That's correct.
So if you remember in the 80s, you'd eat a Granny Smith and it tasted kind of tart. Or you'd eat a Red Delicious and it tasted like paste, right? They weren't good apples because by then the Washington apple industry had, it eradicated a lot of different varieties. So the Gravenstein apple people are like, we have to save the Gravs.
Right.
And they think the Gravenstein came here from Crimea area or from Russia when the Russians settled at Fort Ross. They think they planted.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they came here, spread out to West County.
There's a book in there somewhere, isn't
There
there?
is. Oh, but it's got to have a pun in there somehow.
Oh,
well,
boy.
you know, the reason why we have the barracks and the soldiers here was so the Mexican settlers and Spanish settlers, the Mexican settlers, wouldn't trade with the Russians.
Oh.
It was to keep the mercantile system going. Yeah, so the Russians had to trade there, but there was a secret mission to walk to Fort Ross, to Santa Rosa, to meet in the middle, where the Russians and the Mexicans met.
God, I've done that hike.
Dun, dun, dun.
I've done that hike.
And you still ended up in Santa Rosa.
And there are Gravensteins up there. I've seen them growing.
So Gravenstein apple it doesn't ship very well, but it's really good for sauces, ciders, and pies.
Yeah.
So you should care. You
You should absolutely care. Well, this kind of goes back to, you do the thing you're supposed to do in the place you're supposed to do it.
There you go.
This is what I believe.
Okay, that's good.
When you travel and you're in Sonoma, you winery, you Gravenstein Apple, you read Dead Spread by Bethany Browning. You do the things that are created in the place that you went.
That's right.
Don't go to Starbucks.
No.
Go to Pascal's.
Go to Pascal's. Talk to one of the Pascals. There's two of them.
Yeah.
Pascal or Pascal.
You can talk to both.
Either one.
I mean, I'm sure they're both very friendly.
She speaks in French and English, and it is the funniest thing. She just goes back and forth.
Franglish. I love it.
She speaks in Franglish.
Yeah, that's excellent. So I think that's a
good job. You did a good job.
Sure.
Final question here from where we get questions.
Oh boy, this is really okay.
My husband and I are celebrating our 30th wedding anniversary in early November.
Okay.
We are looking for a special place that comes highly recommended.
Okay.
We don't eat meat, but we do eat fish, and my husband eats chicken. I will read that line. We don't eat meat.
Okay,
but we do eat fish, and my husband eats chicken. So obviously.
Wow.
Yeah. So where's a special place to go
Cafe
for
La Haye.
people who don't eat meat but do eat meat? Cafe La Haye is a great spot.
Yeah,
that's a good spot. It's cozy.
It's very cozy. It's very romantic, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I haven't been to Cafe La Haye in a while. But don't they do kind of a prefix menu sort of situation?
I think he does at certain times. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think with a place that small, it's tiny.
It's tiny.
I'm wondering if for this 30th wedding anniversary, if they could call ahead and make some special requests. And I also know, I can't imagine that there's any restaurant in Sonoma that won't honor a special request.
Oh, right. No, they won't.
El Dorado Kitchen you've got.
Like if you want to order vegetarian chicken, we'll do it.
I'm really looking forward to seeing where this is going.
Vegetarian fried chicken. She says she's vegetarian, but they eat chicken and fish.
And chicken.
No, but you're right. I think any restaurant
will,
of course, they'll take a special request. They'll make a big deal. 30th wedding anniversary, so congratulations to these people.
All right, congratulations.
And I think Cafe La Haye is great. You know what? Right next to Cafe La Haye, Reader's Books.
I wonder why it was on my mind.
Why was I there? I'll give you one up further afield. Glen Ellen Star up in in Glen Ellen.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Salt and Stone in Kenwood. If you're in the Springs area, the Fairmont has Sante, which is a restaurant, which is quite good.
Not terrible.
And not too
Not
shabby.
terrible.
And then, of course, around the Plaza and in Sonoma, there are a lot of good options.
I mean, the thing, if you come, eat when you're here.
Right.
And there's Sunflower Cafe, too.
Sunflower Cafe is great. Not for dinner usually,
dinner,
but breakfast and lunch and a good backyard patio.
Yeah.
Also, a historic building that was where Salvador Vallejo, the brother of, that was his house. So have you ever worked that into, I mean, I don't know.
Well, what we've got in Dead Spread.
Right. Oh, is that a new book?
This is a new book by an author called Bethany Browning. There's a restaurant in there that they like to frequent. It's called High on the Hoggerty.
Oh, right. We didn't mention Hoggerty, by the way. The founder of the town, the European founder of the town.
Yeah. Augustus
Hoggerty. And there's a distant relative still in town. Of the Hoggertys.
Yes.
And High on Hoggerty.
High on the Hoggerty is the barbecue place where they all eat. What?
I love it. The funny thing is, like, when I'm reading this, because when we were talking to George about the Count in Herastasy, or however I pronounce his name, and how he met his demise by a crocodile.
Yeah.
And you think that can't be true. So if you would put that into a book,
you would think it wasn't true.
That's crazy. I mean, it's great for a cozy.
Yeah, it's perfect for a cozy. But
sometimes it's like truth is stranger than fiction, or it writes itself kind of thing, which I love.
Sonoma is full of stories. I mean, I think that's another thing that we can talk about with people who want to come visit here.
Right.
There's a story here. Right. What's your Sonoma story?
Oh, I like that. You should do copywriting.
I should do copywriting. I should write catchy slogans for people.
Hey, the owner of the tourism office is looking for writers.